What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It would be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we added some much-needed decoration and foliage around both of our little food court areas right here, and they look so much better. It's crazy how much just a couple of plants can really do. A lot of litter in the park. More bins are needed. I just added more bins. And benches. Okay, actually, we don't really have any benches. We have the sun loungers and then the picnic tables, but that's it. We'll get to that. We'll get to that all in due time, right? Another thing that we did was adjust our wave pool, I know, again, but this time I think it's actually worth swimming in, right? The waves are much more uniform, they're higher, and overall, I just think it looks a heck of a lot better than it used to. If you're curious about how we were able to get this to work, make sure to go back and watch that previous episode. It's a little cheeky what we had to do, but I truly think it'll help a lot of you guys out in your own theme parks. But the last thing that we did was reconstruct, so this is V2 now of our two little inner tube flumes. V1, I'm honestly glad that I never showed from an aerial, like, top-down perspective, because it did sort of resemble something that starts with a P and ends with an Enos, which is a lot like what happened with V1 of our lazy river. There was a similar sort of shape going on there, so I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I just need to get my head out of the gutter or something. But what I want to work on today is adding our finishing touches to these two flumes, and then I think we should start trying to figure out how or where we want to construct a transport ride. Usually I wait till like the very end when we're almost finished with a zone to add those in, but every time I've done that, we're never able to put it in a location that's useful. It's usually like on the very outskirts of the zone, and people have a hard time getting to it, so I really want to try to dial that in before we go really any further. But what I want to work on first today is trying to make some sort of a retaining wall almost around this elevated path area for the exit of the red slide. It just looks a little weird. It looks a little out of place. So I think if we can kind of enclose it, it'll make it look a little bit nicer. But I want to try to do a little bit of YouTube magic here so it doesn't take us 3 years to complete. So when I snap my fingers, it's just going to be done. It's just going to appear. Ready? Here we go. I am so surprised that worked, dude. Are you kidding me? That didn't take hardly any time at all. Okay, hang on. If I were to say I want a pond right here, some foliage here, maybe another path connecting to a future transport ride, I can just snap my fingers again, and we'll just get it to work. All right, you know what? It's only going to work the one time. That's okay. That's fine. But we're going to come back to this in a little while. I think what I want to work on now is kind of making just a couple of small changes to our concession stand area. Nothing is truly ever finished, right? We're always going to need to come back and make some slight modifications. So guests have been complaining that they don't have enough food and they don't have enough water, and that's kind of my bad, right? I did sort of separate a drink and a food shop, like they're on completely opposite sides of the park thus far, and that's just not going to fly long term. So all I'm going to do is add a food shop to the drink shop over here, and add a drink shop next to the food shop on this side. It should be pretty easy. Do I dare try the whole snap technique again? You think it might work out here? We'll try it. Here we go. No. Yeah, that's not gonna fly out here. That's okay though. That's okay. We're just gonna edit this building, and I'm gonna leave all of this in, ladies and gents, uncut. All right, uncut and unfiltered. Hopefully, it doesn't take me too long. We're gonna delete these two little lights right here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And I'm gonna move these walls out of the way temporarily. We'll move that one there, move this one just over here. That's gonna be the only cut through this, I promise. But I was hoping that we were gonna be able to just kind of drag this over. That way we could add another facility just next to it. But if we do that, you'll notice, I don't know if it's the changing or the bathroom that's behind this, it's kind of clipping in through the backside of this facility. So if we move it up a spot, it'll still be covered. It'll still have an awning and whatnot. So I think that's probably gonna be as good as it's gonna get. It should look just fine still, but we need to do something about these pillars. So actually, let me put those walls back really quick. Let's grab those pillars. Now we can move it and then delete that wall, because this will have to be a a custom wall here in just a second. We'll do the same thing with the opposite side. Beautiful. Beautiful, dude. Ooh, hang on. Let me bring one of those walls back. If we do something like this, say like here, we could select that guy, the false wall, still a wall, but not really a wall, you know what I'm saying. And then this one, we'll duplicate that, and we can drag it on over here to kind of fill that space. And we'll do the same thing with this side. Grab all those, duplicate, rotate, and place. Easy. And then we just delete all those junk walls. Okay, I'm liking it. I like it, Picasso. Now we just need these guys, the shop fascia, the wall, the shop itself, and then probably the sign. We can just move this right yonder. Look at us, dude. Look at us. Like it ain't nothing. All right, let's duplicate this whole deal. Place that right there, and then delete the chief beef and delete the chief beef sign above it. We will still need like another pole right here, I think, though. So let's grab this and this and this. Duplicate. Place that right yonder. That is nice. That is nice. Okay, what else do we have to do? Probably rotate these since they're no longer straight. Do that, and then it's gonna clip through the roof just a little bit, but I think we can fix that. Okay, let's select both of them. That way we can move them both down to be the same height, just until they stop clipping through the section of roof right there. Beautiful. Beautiful, dude. Ain't no thing. What about this area, though? I don't think I want to do more windows. It's a bit too repetitive, I think, for those. So let's grab... Shoot, we're going to need another, like, regular wall of some variety. Let's do this. I'm going to grab this door. Or, you know what? Let's do the window first. So we'll place that, grab this. We're not going to need that. Just the wall is all I really want. Duplicate that. Slide it on over here. And then with this one, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but inverted. So that it'll actually slide into place. Okay, doesn't look too bad, but we've got a little bit of clipping going on here at the front, so I'm going to select both of them. And we're just going to slide them on back until they don't do that anymore. Right about there. Looks good. Looks good to me. Okay, now for the door. We're going to kind of steal that door from the back there. Doesn't look great zoomed out, so we will want to adjust that just slightly. Let's bring it out so it's like halfway into the wall, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Seems a little bit better. Ooh, and then we could use those lights. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Edit building. Let's duplicate this now. Whoops. Sometimes your grid gets a little messed up. Messed up? Here we go. If we change our grid just a little bit more, we'll be able to get that to line up perfectly right there. And then for the other side, we're going to have to take this. It's the opposite end here. Grab that again. Grab this. Duplicate. Rotate. And place. Look at us, man. Crushing it. What's great is we're gonna have to do the exact same thing to that building as well. I wish it were as simple as just like duplicating this whole building and sliding it on over there, but then our path is gonna be weird, and it's honestly better if we just sort of build it in place. But I'm really liking what we've got going on so far. We just need another door. So I'm gonna place this wall inside of here. We're gonna grab this, duplicate, rotate, and place. And then we just have to delete that random wall that we left right here. Easy. You know, we should probably have at least a different type of drink shop and food shop on the opposite end. So we had Pip Shot Juice over there. Let's do Let's do a slush hour. Something different, right? Just a little something extra. And then if we go into scenery, create custom, we're gonna need some signage. So we've got shop signs right here. We're looking for the slush hour. Here we go. They have one that's gonna fit. It's a little big. Do they have anything else? Oh, that's way too large. I'm thinking this is gonna be as good as it gets. Unfortunately. I don't think it looks bad. It is just a little too large for this wall.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
So we'll slide her on down till it fits okay. Right there. That's it. Wow. That's a hey. That's a good sound right there. That is a good sound. All right, let's open this thing up. Bargain pricing is on. They've got strawberry slushies, cola slushies, blue raspberry, and tropical. Blue raspberry, arguably the best flavor, even though it's not truly a real flavor. There's no such thing as a blue raspberry. It was 100% created in a laboratory somewhere. And I think the last thing that we have to do, wait, where'd our employee for Chief Beef go? Let's find them really quick. Carrie, just now re-arriving. We basically sent her home for the day. So let's help her out a little bit. There we go. But the only area of path that we really have to address now or adjust is gonna be this other side right here. So that should be as easy as just, God, you really have to like back out of the tools here. Should be as easy as just doing this. There it is. Merge setting disabled. Is that better? We didn't even really need to place that there. Dude, that's mint. That is mint. I want to see what it looks like at night really quick. I mean, at night. You know what I'm saying. 5 a.m. Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. It could probably use a few more lights. But I'm happy with this for the time being. I don't think that looks too bad. Let's see if we can do the same procedure to this other facility, but a little bit faster. Maybe? We'll see, man, we'll see. Sometimes your grid gets a little messed up too, and that's kind of annoying, but hey, it's part of it, you know? So these windows we will be deleting. These we will also be deleting. We've got more around the back that we can just sort of copy. Oh, wait. Jump the gun. I wanted to do this first. There we go. Already, I think this is gonna take the exact same amount of time that that the other side took, but it is what it is. Okay, now we can delete those lights. Looks good, looks good. And then that can go bye-bye, this can go bye-bye. The winders, won't be needing those where we're going. Okay. Let's grab this guy next. Shop fascia, sign, the shop itself. And we're just gonna move that right here. Duplicate, place, whoops. Delete and delete. Okay, what are we missing now? We need another wall so we can duplicate these winders. Like so. And there. And there. And one more here. I don't usually do it that way because then it's a little difficult to delete the walls that are like on the inside of the building. I try to keep the walls I'm gonna just end up deleting anyways on the outside. It's just a little bit easier sometimes. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now we just delete that, because we're gonna be putting 2 doors right there. And then, oh, lights too. Kind of forgot about that. Let's move these back though, because they're still doing the same clipping through the front thing that doesn't look very good at all. Right about there. That is bang on. Okay, doors. We are gonna want this wall. Whoops. Let's grab this. Actually, let's do light first, maybe. Seeing there our grid goes getting messed up again. I want you over here, and we've got to change our grid again to make it a little smaller. And right there. Make sure we delete that wall. Very unnecessary. Okay, lights done. Now for the door. I love using this little trick here with the grid wall. You know what I'm saying? Just makes it quite a bit simpler. Is that even a word? Simpler? Or would you say more simple? English is my first language and I still don't know. There we go. Whoops, that is the changing room. I just want this. Okay. There it is. All right, now we can delete that. And we're golden. Ooh, we've got railing over here though. I don't want that. Let's, we're gonna have to add the facility though so it snaps. Hang on. So, which other one should we do then? Because we have a Pip Shot Juice, we already have a Pizza Pen, we already have a Chief Beef. There's Viva La Vegan, which we haven't done yet. Hot Dog Squad too, that could be good. Let's go Hot Dog Squad. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And then we will raise this up. I also just thought of something else that we could do to kind of church these things up a little bit more. I need this and this and this. Rotated around the front. Whoops. Right yonder. All right, dude. Oh, wait, I forgot to rotate these two. Yeah, I would say that it's taking exactly the same amount of time that the other side took. Which, I mean, that makes sense, right? We're basically just doing the same thing. Slide down just a bit right there. Okay, what are we missing? Oh, Hot Dog Squad itself, right. Now we can get this opened up. Let's hit play. We're gonna have to go retrieve our other employee for the Pip Shot here. Yeah, reset them, sent them home for the day. Let's just drag them on back out here. There we go. All right, very last step here is paths again. Gonna do that and this. And we're golden. Ladies and gentlemen, oh. And we're golden. Now that that wall has been removed, we are good to go. I love it. I love it. See, I'm so glad that I gave myself a little bit of extra room for future expansion with this building. That was very much intentional. Or was it? The other thing that I wanted to do to this, though, just to kind of church it up a little bit more, is making sure that the flowers are kind of a similar color to whatever the shop uses. Actually, the original orange is probably, it's like a fiery orange. I'd say that's probably good enough. This one needs to be more like pink-ish. I think that looks pretty solid. And then let's head over here and do a similar thing. Slush Hour, I'm gonna actually make them blue because I think Chief Beefs would look better in red. So we'll have some blue flowers. Chief Beef we're gonna change to red. Just a little extra something, you know? Kind of goes a long way. I do think we should probably do something similar to this facility. You'll notice we don't even have anyone here right now. No assigned staff? How did I screw that up? Oh no. Okay, let me check our staff schedule here. It was Gracie Dingwall. I do remember that name. Oh, she's on break. Well, that makes sense. Let's just make her break 6 p.m. instead. I think that's when the park closes anyways. So that'll be your break. And this will be working, attend shop, specific shop, yes. This one, and where'd you go? Gracie Dingwall, right here. Okay, sorted. We're good. Now she'll only take her break when like these guests are leaving and a new group of guests is coming in. Hopefully. I'm pretty sure that's the way that everything's set up right now. I don't know if this tells us that or not. Doesn't look like it does. Something in here shows like when the park is open and when it's closed, but I don't remember where to find that information. Oh no, you know what it was? I'm just thinking of the lighting. That's how we have the lighting set. It has nothing to do with our theme park opening and closing hours. Look at this though, dude. It's working. Hopefully now we won't have those notifications about guests being hungry and or thirsty. I feel like we probably solved that problem, but let's move back on over here to these two slides so we can keep working on this a little bit more. What I want to do next is add, this is actually something a lot of you had been suggesting, is add like a little cage for the inflatables. So I've already sort of remade a double tube as close as I can get it. You can't actually just use the one that they use to go down the slide. So this is two singles kind of put together and made into a scenery group, and then we have a single just over here. So I want to try to find something that looks like a chain link fence or some type of mesh fencing material that we can use to make a cage for these things. So let's try just mesh first. Oh, here we go. That's almost exactly what I was looking for. I wish it came with a frame around it already, though. I don't really want to build a custom frame. We definitely can. It's just going to take more time. Let's see if there's anything else that has sort of a border around it already. Here we go. Found it. Oh, wait. No, it's like chain link, though. I wanted something with more of like a wooden border. Here we go. That's perfect. That's perfect. And I like this mesh a lot more. Rather than a chain link, it's just kind of a square mesh. And then look at these. Dude, it's the ribbon fence. This is the old barriers from the original Planet Coaster. They don't call them barriers anymore, which leads me to believe that barriers are non-existent. It's purely decorative, which is why the barrier that we buried underneath our wave machines, they're not working. They're not functioning whatsoever. I do want to try this though. What if they're not called barriers anymore, but they actually function? Yeah, that did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Let's just undo all of that then. I'm thinking something like this ought to do it. And I actually don't hate the green. Like, it kind of makes sense, right? You'd throw the tubes from the green slide in the green cage. I just want to make sure that it's the same shade of green. Mantis was the one. Let's select all these others. And then sort of a lighter gray for the mesh. I like that. I don't really know where I want these to sit at, but I feel like that's probably a decent enough spot, at least for that one. So let's do something similar just over here. I'm gonna try to keep it sort of at a weird angle too, so it doesn't really line up with everything else. Maybe we're gonna have to. It looks kind of funky like that. Try to slide it in the back corner maybe. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Maybe a little bit more this way. I like it. And then of course we'll have to change the color of this one to red to match the slide. Select those, change this to red. Bada bing, bada boom, dude. We are making excellent progress today. Excellent progress. Okay, next, and this is probably gonna take me a little bit of time. We need to kind of pepper a couple of these tubes in there. Oh, you know what? This is actually at a different height than that one. So let me raise it up real quick. Looks about the same. I'd say that's good enough. It doesn't have to be exact, right?
One eternity later.
Okay, this one might be a little bit better, just a little bit better than the last, because in here some of them are upside down. I tried to make sure that more of them were like up along the walls of the cage too. if it were up to me, like if this were my ideal theme park, guests would neatly stack all the inner tubes inside the cages. Heck, I might even hire someone where their only job is just to make sure that these are neatly organized, because looking at them does bother me a lot. But it's okay. It is game, right? It is game. Something that was recently brought to my attention, actually, while we were working on that, not the pip shot juice thing. There is a lot of litter in the park. More bins are needed. Well, we have bins. It's just janitors aren't able to go around and empty them. That, or when in the previous episode, holy, there's so much. Dude, okay, we've got to address this before we move on to anything else. I think I ruined our janitors by making them roaming and trying to apply a staff zone to each of them. This is very, very bad. We've got 4 janitors in total, 2 of which are tied to the main entrance staff zone. The other 2, one is tied to this staff zone, the other to the opposite side. This area is definitely the worst of it. That janitor's still trying to make their way around and clean up whatever they can. I think we're just gonna have to hire more. I thought for sure 4 janitors would be plenty. More than enough, in fact. But let's plop down maybe 2 more, 3 more. And for the time being, I don't think I'm gonna tie them to a specific staff zone. I think I'm just gonna kind of let them wander. And hopefully before too long, this trash issue won't be an issue anymore. That's just insane. What's going on here, ma'am? You okay? You need a hand? Trying to leave the pool currently, but not really having very much success with that. There we go. So the guests are desperate notification that we keep seeing. I'm guessing that's just because a couple of guests, definitely not everyone, but a couple of people are getting stuck in the walls of the pool, which is less than ideal, but I don't really think that there's any way we can prevent that from happening. Unfortunately, it looks like that lady had been in there for a minute too. She's just really trying to take a load off, is really hungry and really thirsty, and kind of needs to use the bathroom. But I think while we let our janitors work on cleaning up all this trash, we're gonna get to work on this facility, because at least when we have like a big influx of guests like we're about to have, this shop is so overcrowded, it's insane. So we're gonna do something kind of similar to what we just did with our little concession stand buildings. I'm gonna change our grid here real quick. I'm just gonna grab the shop front and the shop itself, and we're gonna move that. Oh, you know what? We're gonna want the shop wall too. Hang on. Let's do that. One mo again, as they say. Make sure it's the same height. I'm gonna place that one right there. We're gonna duplicate it and place another one just next to it. I think the sign can stay. We're just gonna bump it up a little bit and make sure it's actually up alongside that wall. Right about there ought to do it. Okay, don't go too far. All right, now, lady, we need you actually working over here. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We can get this one open. Hit play real quick. She is going to be either reset to the main entrance, or she'll just gracefully hop behind the counter again. There she goes. All right, looking good. We're looking good. And then all I'm gonna do is add just a little bit of extra decoration here in the middle. I'm gonna move this flower down just a little bit so it's slightly more visible. And there we go. The deed is done. Hopefully now this area won't be as overcrowded as it has been. The guests are starting to make their way into the park. Nobody really seems to want to get changed out here, but I think once we have, you know, coasters and flat rides and stuff sort of surrounding the water park, I think then these changing rooms will be utilized a bit more. Sometimes guests use it, but not very often. Moving right along here, I think we should probably continue adding our finishing touches to these 2 slides. We've already got our 2 little inner tube cages, which turned out fantastic. I definitely love the way that they look. Certainly a bit more realistic, you could say. But what I want to do is add just a little pond right in this area. Some plants, obviously, around the front and then around the back as well. But I'm tempted to get rid of this path and replace it with a larger asphalt one, kind of just coming straight out. We don't have to take it very far, maybe no further than this one, but I'm hoping that this area right here will work well for us to have our first transport ride. So this is where they would be loaded up, right? And then we'd have an additional station somewhere in this vicinity, but that wouldn't be the end station. I mean, it probably will be for today, right? Because we don't have anywhere else for it to really go just yet. But eventually, I would like it to have, you know, one station here, maybe one in this area, one in this area. But we're not quite there yet, right? So let's tackle this scenery first.
1 hour later.
This already looks considerably better than it used to, dude. Again, it's crazy just what a few plants can really do for a zone. Why is there so much trash over here too? Okay, we're probably gonna want to add just a couple of trash cans. Not that big of a deal, but I did decide to keep the path that was here before and just run the larger asphalt path down the side of it. So over here is where I would like to put our first transport ride, which reminds me, we probably need to do some research, because I don't even think, yeah, single-decker bus, which is very sick. I don't think we're going to be using that one, but we're going to have to research it first to get to the one that I do want to use, the gondola. Or now they just call it the cable car. I think that's going to be quite a bit nicer than the buses, because the buses are going to have to stay ground level the whole time. It'd be nice if we could have a transport ride that kind of gets people out of the way, or rather gets the track out of the way of everything else. So we're going to start working on that in a second, but first, gotta add some more trash cans. The trash cans are in place. Hopefully this litter will be cleaned up here momentarily. But a lot of you have been asking me to utilize this camera mode quite a bit more, but I didn't realize this until just now. You can climb the steps to any of your slides to make it up to the top, and then you can also queue to ride the ride. Dude, it's so sick. I had no idea that was possible. Like, I knew we could, okay, this is still kind of wigging out a little bit, isn't it? I knew that we could, you know, walk around in this camera mode, which is cool by itself, but I had no idea that you could actually climb your staircases. So check this out. We can climb this one too, get up to the top, and we can ride the slide. You do have to wait until a guest sort of rides it for you, if that makes any sense. Like, we can sit here, but we're just gonna be twiddling our thumbs until someone actually wants to ride this slide. Oh, you know what? The triple slide ride attendant, I bet, is on break at the moment, so we would have been waiting around on the red slide for a while. But enough messing around. I've had my fun now. Let's start working on this transport ride. So basically what I want to do is duplicate this main entrance building. We're going to drag it way on out here because it'll have to undergo some major modifications. That way we can get it to fit in this little area. It's a bit too long at the moment, so we're going to kind of cut it down a little bit. And we don't need any of these facilities really on the main floor or the second floor, but I want the second floor to be the station for the transport ride, at least one of them, right? I just think it'd be kind of cool to have a station that's sort of elevated a little bit. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I have no idea if it's going to work out well for us, but I'm going to start here by just simply deleting all these facilities and trying to shorten the building up a little bit. Many, many deleted pieces later. Tried to do a French accent. Sorry, French speakers, for probably butchering that. But I think the easiest way for us to shorten this building down is going to be to just delete this catwalk here in the middle, and then we can kind of merge the two now separated buildings together. While that did work for us, we're still about 3-4 meter walls too long. So I think what I'm going to do is delete probably just this section here, and then it should fit. Doing it this way will also sort of help us retain those rooftop planter boxes. I definitely don't want to try to remake those. That looks just about perfect to me. So now, all we have to do is slide this on forward a little ways. We'll get it into position, and then we can test to see if this whole second floor transport ride station thing is actually going to work. We're about to find out here together, though. 7,200 bucks for our starting station. I say starting station even though this is station 2, technically, right? Because station 1 would be over here. That's where it would begin. We'd kind of snake it around this way, and it would eventually lead into this building. But this one has to align with something where that one doesn't. It'll just align with the building? That's insane. Dude, that's crazy. Okay, hang on. We gotta make sure that the height is where we want it, though. I guess we could just place that so it's locked in. Now, if we back out of all that, come back in here. I just don't know where the path is gonna want to line up. So now we can just use advanced move here and drag it on down until we're happy with it. I'm thinking right about there ought to work well for us. Yeah, there's no weird clipping going on with the station and the roof. Dude, that looks incredible. I was really worried that it wasn't going to be a possibility. And you know what? If we have the exit over here, then we're going to need a staircase at the front, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather have it at the back. So can we rotate this? Or wait. Edit track. We can just change the station to a different one. Right, like this? Yeah, I think that'll work out for us a little bit better. But now that we know that we can just align stations with buildings, or I guess rides with buildings, that kind of makes me want to extend this building out just a little ways. And then we'll have another station that aligns perfectly over there. That, or we could just place down a station and, you know, advance move it into position. But I would almost rather do it this way, like all the time, dude. That was so much easier. How many extra walls are we gonna have to put on the end of the main entrance building? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can do that. No problem at all. I'll obviously take the time to go through this a little while later on and just make sure it all looks good, right? We can't just have a bunch of bare walls like this and a bunch of windows at the front. That looks really gross. Oh, wait a minute. It would actually have to be longer than 5 walls, right? Because this station is continuing. It's starting here, coming into here, and then this is gonna go elsewhere. So we need space for, what are those called? Like the bowl wheel cap or something like that? Yeah, the drive station wheel or the bowl wheel cap, which is shorter. They're the same length. So that's gonna add probably 2, looks like 2 more 4-meter walls. We can do that. My next question, though, even if we have this aligned perfectly with this other building, it's actually going to have to be out here. And then we'll adjust the height like we did last time. Oh, does the path line up with that a little bit better? Because on the other one, we have it slightly higher up, but this is just kind of where that wanted to auto snap to. But I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted. My next question is, even though we've placed down 2 stations, can we get the 2 to connect, or is the game gonna think that they're supposed to be 2 different rides? You know what I mean? Let's just try to add the bowl wheel cap or whatever to this. Okay, so this one is a little shorter, so let's go with that. That way it doesn't interfere with the roof any. But yeah, it looks like, size-wise is perfect there. So I'm not gonna make it pretty right now, but I am gonna try to extend it all the way over to the other one. That way we can see if it's gonna work. We're close. Man, we are really close. It looks like it needs to go out to the right, just like another foot. So what was this before, 75? Ooh, 79 is gonna be the next best thing there. We can try it. All we can really do at this point is try. I'm hopeful, though. Very hopeful that this is gonna work out for us. Okay, see, now it's a little too far to the right. But we could also just move this building, right? The main entrance at this point in time really isn't movable. But this one, since we don't really have much going on inside of it yet, it totally is. Let me try this, though. What if we make this, the turn, a little bit shorter? Does that get us any closer? Ooh. Ooh, dude, that might be money. Hang on, let me back it up one more time to 98. Oh, I think that's gonna be too far again. We'll see though. Yeah, a little bit too far. It does kind of worry me too that there's no like auto connect here option for this one. So I don't think that that's gonna work. We're gonna have to come up with something else. Here we go. This looks promising. That is much more aligned than what we had before, but let's see if we can't get that station to work. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to get it to align with this building, but worst case, we can split this building off from the main entrance and, you know, fine tune it a little bit more from there. So which one do we want? This guy? Perfect. And then the bowl wheel cap. It might work, dude. Okay, but over here, we want this to continue. So let's do that, just so we can have that started at the very least. I am into this, man. I am really, really into this. It looks like it lines up very, very well. Height-wise, not 100% sure yet. We might have to drop it down just a bit, but dude, for a basically a rough draft, I gotta be happy about this. I just gotta. We are gonna have to have a temporary drive station wheel here just at the very end of this one for testing purposes, nothing more. I do definitely plan on having it go to another station later on, but I've got some temporary paths put in too. It's gonna take a while to figure out where to put the entrance and exit so that it'll, you know, line up with the building a bit better. It's close, but it doesn't really matter for right now. But I'm kind of thinking that, okay, let's test it really quick. This might be a little too short to clear. Well, maybe not. I mean, it's gonna hit a couple of trees. We'll have to move quite a few of those out of the way. But it's not hitting the umbrellas over the food court, dude. Maybe it's an okay height. It's working. It's actually working. And then we'll have to make the building look as though, you know, the cars, the cable cars can actually go through here so they don't clip straight through these beams. I am so happy that this is working though. So incredibly happy. So I'm gonna spend just a couple minutes here kind of fine tuning as much as I can, and we'll see where we end up, dude. I'm stoked.
Many, many minutes later.
I wish I had more time. I really, really wanted to see this fully completed today, but I guess we'll just have to sort of pick up where we left off in the next episode. But there we go, with those walls deleted, this is just a taste of what's to come. I found out that we can space the columns out on the sides, like where the cable cars go through, so they won't clip through anything. It doesn't look weird at all, honestly. I'm very, very happy with the way that turned out. And then the entrance and the exit, it took some tweaking, you know, some fine tuning to get it to line up exactly where I wanted it. The only downside, in my eyes anyways, is that the first floor columns and the second floor columns don't line up anymore. Really just these two, but I think we can all probably look past that as long as it's functional, right? Function over form for now. But we've got a ways to go yet, for sure. And then for this whole new building that we created today, the only thing I really had time for, unfortunately, was to kind of just cover up and get rid of all those old like shop fascias and arched doorways and things like that. But it's taken shape. It is really starting to take shape. And on that note, that is where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. Once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.